What's happening, everybody? Oh my God! Somebody that desire can't buy off. And why all of a sudden do I have a twang tonight? I don't know. Well, you know, there's a lot of beautiful things down in Orange County. Well, I think if anybody can take the UCW ladies division to the next level, it's going to be Casey Carlisle. She is a proven champion no matter where she goes. Or is who referred to it, or maybe she did, the belt collector. See, I always wonder when people have that many titles, do you ever forget which one you're supposed to, like you show up somewhere and you got the UCW title on, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm not in UCW, like, whoops.
When we go through these conversations with UCW talent like Miss Carlisle, of course, and also Jeffrey Bravo, who we've talked to in the past, Mr. Big Stuff, KR Superstar. When we talk to these guys and gals...
Mr. Big Stuff! Oh, sorry.
Wow, that just happened. Yeah.
You could work it into a song. You could be like, Mr. Big Stuff and KR.
That you know what? It's kind of odd, but that kind of flows.
See? Sorry, back to business, sorry.
That's all right. When we talk to all of these folks, they're very confident in their standing within the wrestling world, but also within UCW. I don't think there's anyone quite as confident, though, as Miss Carlisle.
Well, I mean, does she have to, does she have to be anything else? I mean, she's wrestled twice in UCW. First time she came in, she put everybody on notice that she was here. And the second time she came, she took the title. So, I mean, go ahead. Sorry. I thought you were going to talk.
No. I wasn't going to interrupt you. I would never dream of interrupting you, sir.
No. I was just saying that, she has probably one of the best track records when it comes to UCW win-loss records, as a talent in a long time. I mean, she shows up, wins match, or, she's in one match, wins the title the next match. Can't get much better than that,
A defined success rate that she has, that's for sure, and something that has proven over the course of time to be, realistically speaking, an asset, a value of immeasurable proportion for UCW, and I think that she's definitely confident in her abilities. Another guy that we saw over the course of past few weeks for UCW's Defiance, who may have a newfound aggression to him, is Joe King, the new #1 contender for the television title.
Yeah, I mean, I would be one of the first ones to say that I kind of, the kingdom has fallen when it came to Joe King. And I kind of saw him come into that the triple threat match for the #1 contendership. Man, that's a lot.
That's a lot of syllables.
And, hey, I didn't. Well, I'm like, hey, he's been here. He's wrestled. He hadn't had a great streak going, So I didn't really put a whole lot of emphasis behind it. But then, man, to take out two newcomers and Jason Raditz and Victor Grimm, it's going to be awesome.
Grimpfa. I like that.
See how I saved that?
You handled that well. You did a good job with that. And folks, in just a couple moments here, we're going to be joined by the head man himself, the master of UCW. He's the man in charge, and the person that you can blame or celebrate, depending on where you stand in the locker room. I believe he's on the line right now. Mr. Devoreto, are you with us, sir?
I am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Devoreto, and welcome to UCW Radio. Doug and I were just talking about just the excitement of the past few weeks that we've witnessed with UCW Defiance.
Yes, this past couple of weeks, actually the past couple of months, have just been a roller coaster, if you will, of excitement and twists and turns that I think the fans are enjoying just as much as we are.
Absolutely. Hey, one quick thing I wanted to get your feel for. What did you think of the Big Stuff Invitational? How did you feel about that challenge being answered by Porkchop Johnson?
Well, I think Porkchop answered it, and I think that Big Stuff Industries, I think they were a little ahead of themselves, and I don't think they took Porkchop seriously. And to their detriment, Porkchop almost pulled out an upset there. He did get a win, but unfortunately he did not win the belt. But I think Big Stuff Industries learned a lesson at the end of that day, that although KR Superstar may think he's the smartest man on the planet, it would behoove him not to underestimate anybody in the UCW locker room.
I'm sorry, was that smartest or smallest?
Well, when we're talking about KR, we'd have to go with the smallest.
Somewhere out there is a booster seat with KR Superstar's name all over it. The guy gets berated by all of the fans, kids and adults, it doesn't matter. And yet, for all of the joking that we have, and Lord knows we all poke fun and give him a hard time, but again, 4 months in a row, KR Superstar hailed as manager of the month. He's got to be pretty proud of his success.
Well, at the end of the day, I give KR Superstar a hard time, and it's no secret that him and I not only see eye to eye hardly ever, but I will give the devil his due. He's an incredibly talented manager. He took Big Stuff to the top of the mountain, and we'll just see how long he continues to stay on top of that mountain. And I do congratulate him for the 4-time manager of the month, although I hear grumblings that there was payoffs involved, but, I don't know. Who knows these days?
Once or twice is a big deal. You get excited for that, but 4 times in a row, 4 full times, yeah, maybe there is a little bit of dirty money getting around. What do you think, Doug?
See, I every time I hear he won 4 times in a row, I picture that scene out of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory where that one girl's dad has his whole company looking for the golden ticket. And I could see KR just having a building full of people that he's paying to push the button. Vote for me! And that's what I think.
I can see that.
So that's what I think. But I want to say, hey, Defiance in Ashland was awesome from beginning to end. And, boss, coming up with that arm wrestling match was just genius.
Well, I appreciate that. I'd like to take credit for that, but for me, it's been a long-standing tradition, especially back in the days of old when two guys have that big of an ego. That's the way you settled it back then.
So, yeah, 2 out of 3 falls in an arm wrestling contest. I don't think you've ever seen it before. May not ever see it again, depending. But the 2 guys, Humphrey J. DuPont, KR Superstar, no love lost between either one. And should we be surprised that KR Superstar would stoop to such depths the way he did by throwing what caught all of us off guard as it got in the faces of all of us, a bag of salt or sand? I'm not even sure exactly what that substance was.
Well, I would be very surprised if you see it again because as soon as that ended, he received a very hefty fine. And I made sure that it was hefty enough that I don't think you'll ever see that again.
So you talk about fines, and I'm glad to hear that you held him accountable. Let's talk about the recent video released from Big Stuff Industries and from KR Superstar himself, talking about injuries sustained at the hands of Porkchop Johnson. We talked about the Big Stuff Industries Invitational. How does messages like this, how do you treat messages and threats like this, where he basically states he's going to be getting his lawyers involved and hold us accountable for his misfortunes, I suppose?
Well, my office has received a phone call from an unknown number. They claim to be lawyers from the office of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. And took a message. I called them back, and funny enough, that number was disconnected. KR Superstar likes to blow a lot of hot air. He's an incredibly smart man, but sometimes he makes incredibly stupid mistakes. So I don't hold much weight to his threats of what he's going to do legal-wise. He's more concerned about keeping the gold around the waist of Big Stuff and his meal ticket than he would be taking me to court.
Well, as we look back, we look back upon Ashland and Defiance, we have to look forward. June 22nd, Orange, Virginia. What do we have in the pipeline for Mr. Big Stuff? Will the UCW champion be defending?
Once again, they're holding that BSI Challenge open June 14th. They've issued a war on the DuPont family, and I'm waiting for the DuPont family to respond in kind. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. In Orange, you never know what's going to happen. You got to keep one eye on Big Stuff. You got to keep 3 eyes on KR Superstar and an eye on everybody else. So it's going to be interesting to see who it plays out. He is scheduled to defend that championship, and we'll see if it actually comes to fruition because they've been fighting these days on what they're going to do and what they don't want to do.
Well, and that's interesting because we've seen a lot of different, sleight of hand, you could say, from Big Stuff Industries, and now, yet again, another opportunity for a different member of the UCW locker room, and I'm curious as to how they will manage to escape one more time Orange, Virginia, with the belt intact. Mr. Big Stuff has somehow managed, I wouldn't say to escape with the title because I don't want to belittle the champ, but I will say that there's always a circumstance, there's always something happening that could cause, well, honestly, some degree of controversy.
Somebody has recently contacted me in regards to coming back to UCW. They say they have some unfinished business, particularly with KR Superstar and Mr. Big Stuff. And I take nothing away from Big Stuff. He's a tremendous competitor. He's held this belt longer than anybody in the UCW history. So it's going to be interesting to see if this person can make Big Stuff rise to the occasion again, or will he get the better of him? And I got a nasty feeling that when you mix Scottish blood with a nasty temper, it can be kind of nasty.
I see. I am. You know what? I can't wait to see this come out. This is going to be awesome.
I just got all excited.
You know what? If it's who I'm guessing that you're putting out there, and I don't want to ruin it. I can't wait to see the fans' reaction to this.
Stan, Lariat, just stop.
What?
Please.
What?
One of the things I would like to give away is on the 22nd in Orange at the Orange County Fairgrounds. I have decided that the ladies at the last Defiance put on a tremendous showing. Casey Carlisle versus Avery Rose did so well that we're going to have a rematch for that ladies title on that day.
Wow. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is breaking news for UCW Radio. It's official. Oh, and I think, you know what? I do apologize, folks. It looks like we may have actually lost the boss. Casey Carlisle
You
taking
hung
on...
up on him.
I would most certainly never do that. Casey Carlisle will be defending the Ladies' Championship on June 22nd, Orange, Virginia. At our next Defiance, she's going to defend against Avery Rose. What an exciting night of action that's going to be.
That is going to be, I mean, that was a showstopper, I have to say. In Ashland, that was the highlight of the night. And in Orange, Virginia, June 22nd, I mean, admission to the event is included in your admission to the fair. So, I mean, why wouldn't you go? You know, it's a no-brainer to me. I mean, you get wrestling action, the BSI Open Challenge, but now you get a ladies' championship rematch. You know, the belt collector could very well have one less belt to take home, as the up-and-comer Avery Rose, you know, went toe-to-toe with her the last time.
You know, Avery Rose was an exciting addition to the UCW Ladies Division. Very excited to see how her career continues to progress. She gets an opportunity tonight, or not tonight, but on the 22nd, to perhaps exact a little bit of revenge and become, for her first time ever, Ladies Champion of UCW. What an exciting night this is going to be for Avery Rose. And, Doug, when you look at this matchup where they first took place, Avery really had a great showing for herself. She took our champion to the limit.
I mean, it was one of those matches. We've said what we have about Casey Carlisle being a true champion and a true professional and legend in the women's wrestling style. But Avery Rose is an up-and-comer, and Avery Rose almost got the best of the veteran, shall we say, in Ashland. And if Avery Rose comes with that A game again, I mean, no matter who wins, it's going to be an awesome match.
Absolutely. Hard-hitting contest the last time. This time, who can say? I have to wonder if Miss Carlisle is going to be prepared for yet another competition there, maybe getting all that she can handle and then some against Avery Rose. So when you get an opportunity here, you need to go ahead and get your chance and buy your tickets today for the Orange County Fair, and you too can have an opportunity to see UCW Defiance, realistically speaking, right in the most beautiful part of Virginia, Orange County. It's going to be an exciting night of action. Doug, I have a question for you, though. As we've seen many different matchups through UCW's history, we did also witness a contest between an unbeaten Noise Pollution, the UCW Tag Team Champions, defending against Cheap Thrills, Matt Sells and Jimmy Flame. How did you feel watching this contest? Was it a sense of justice that you felt from this when you saw the new tag team champions, Jimmy Flame and Matt Sells, stand victorious? Because I know that you had an uncomfortable experience earlier on in that evening.
Well, yeah. I mean, earlier I was interviewing, the incomparable Jimmy Flame because of the shoe donation drive that was going on, and he was nefariously attacked by, Noise Pollution, looking to get the upper hand in that match. I mean, this Cheap Thrills and Noise Pollution match was 9 months in the making. I mean, 9 months. They were supposed to wrestle a few months before, and things happened where they couldn't do it. Well, then Twitter and Facebook and they just went back and forth. And I also think one of the things that was into play was Noise Pollution has never been the bad guy. The crowd's always loved them. When they came to Orange the first time for the big old boogie, the crowd was behind them. When they were in Sterling at the Michael and Son Sportsplex, bam, the crowd was behind them. But for some reason, when they walked into the Hoops Academy in Ashland, Virginia, those people there did not want anything to do with noise pollution. And to me, that would get me. If you were used to being cheered everywhere you go, and then all of a sudden, one, you can never get your hands on these people that keep talking. They keep talking stuff, but you can never get your hands on them. And then all of a sudden, you walk in expecting people to cheer you because, one, you're noise pollution, and two, you're the champs. And you get booed because of bacon and eggs, So I think that's one of the things. And but that match did not disappoint. When they finally got in the ring, I think noise pollution thought they had an advantage because they'd beat Jimmy down earlier. And that just showed you that you can't count out Matt Sales.
No, you really can't. Both Jimmy and Matt were ready for action. They were even not really sidetracked by the attack, although I'm sure Jimmy was definitely feeling it as he took a majority of the abuse from not just before the night really began, but also throughout the matchup. But interestingly enough, we would see the new tag team champions be crowned after hitting noise pollution with their very own finishing tandem maneuver, the Hangover. It's interesting to see these things take place because now you've got to wonder, what does noise pollution have in store? How will they recover? And will they get it? What will they do in their rematch? Because they will exercise their rematch clause.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the chased becomes the chasee. They have always been chased because they were the champs. All the way back from the Big Old Boogie and with Outlaw Inc., everybody's wanted to dethrone noise pollution.
Right.
Well, even when, one of them got hurt, they still went out and did their thing. So it's going to be interesting to see because, when you've known one champ and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, that champ isn't champ. Maybe they get a new desire, Are they going to get a new desire, a new drive? Or are they going to just say, you know what, whatever. We've had our fun,
I think when we look at noise pollution as a whole, Mad Max and the Relentless One, Rock Richards, both guys
that is a tongue twister.
Yeah, it sure is. And both guys...
That's why I say noise pollution.
Both guys are aggressive. Both guys are very angry right now, and they've not let it be silent anymore. They were very aggravated by the reception they got at Hoops Academy the first time when Ace and Porkchop were giving them all they could handle. Of course, now Porkchop making his singles run looks like he may actually be making a run at the champ. We've got that to look at, but now you've got to consider, how do you look? How do you feel when you see Cheap Thrills now getting more cheers than you, getting all of the publicity? And the question now becomes, they've already stooped to such dastardly deeds when they attacked Jimmy before the night even began. And now with this rematch, if they're going to find a way to recapture the gold, what tricks will they have to pull out? What kind of exciting event of action do they have planned? Maybe even what kind of a nightmare do they have planned?
Well, it's going to be a match. Don't think that. I know I made the statement earlier about, are they going to have a new drive, or are they just going to be like, you know what, we're the champs? But I personally think noise pollution is more dangerous not being the champs than being the champs, if that makes sense. Because being the champs, you got to toe the company line. You can only do so much. Now they have nothing to lose.
And that's the thing. When you've got nothing to lose, really, you're more dangerous than ever. And who would know how to be dangerous more than you?
Well, hey, so it is my game. I do have the home. I do have the home game.
Okay, well.
But you said something about Porkchop. Look at Porkchop. Porkchop goes from being, almost winning the tag team titles in Ashland the first time we were there, to almost winning the world title the second time in Ashland. God help if we go back a third time.
Which begs the question, what's next for Porkchop Johnson? He's given both the tag team champions and the UCW heavyweight champion all they could handle. And now, as we head towards June 22nd in Orange, Virginia for UCW Defiance, it's going to be an interesting night of action. What we will expect to see, who knows? Who knows? We've got now confirmed the ladies' championship on the line. Casey Carlisle will defend against Avery Rose. We've been told that Jimmy Flame will indeed be in attendance, and if I'm looking at this poster correctly, yes, indeed, Jimmy Flame will be in action at not the Big O Boogie, oh my goodness. He will actually be in action against, well, let me just take a moment here and pull this poster right away. You know, folks, it's live radio. We want to make sure we're giving you all the details.
That and Stan's not prepared. Oh, sorry.
Hey. I am always prepared, sir. There we go. So Jimmy Flame will be in attendance. He will be there. So will the UCW heavyweight champion, Mr. Big Stuff. Another open challenge could be answered by, you heard it from the boss himself, someone of Scottish descent. I mean, interestingly enough. Of course, KR Superstar will be there with his Hornswoggle. Oh, my God. No, please no. We've got Ethan Cross scheduled to be in attendance as well, and the ruthless Jason Raditz returning to UCW after a tremendous debut. He came just this close to becoming the number one contender for the television title. What can we expect from Jason Raditz? That should be exciting. I really got to tell you, folks, if you haven't had an opportunity to go ahead and get your tickets to the Orange County Fair, go ahead and look it up. Orange County, Virginia is where we will see the action held. UCW Defiance will be there. It comes with the price of admission. You got an opportunity here, and it's going to be what a night of action. I mean, I'm not the Golden Pipes, that's for sure. So, Doug, give him one forward. Tell him, where can they get their tickets?
Where can they get their tickets? You can get your tickets at UCWForever.com, or you can get your tickets at eventbrite.com/keyword UCW Defiance. Get your tickets. Again, Orange County Fair, Orange, Virginia. You would be a fool not to be there. First time ever, UCW and the Orange County Fair together. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be, as we say, ultimate.
Indeed it will. OrangeCountyFairVirginia.com. That's OrangeCountyFairVA.com, where you can also go ahead and get your tickets. And you can even check out the full list of events there. A great website that they've put together, and an exciting night of fun for you and for your family and friends. And, of course, a great night of action for UCW Defiance. Hey, that's going to do it for Dangerous Doug Roberts and myself, Stan Lariat. For the boss, Mr. DeVore, and for everyone here at UCW, we thank you. We look forward to seeing you again next week as we look to talk to the UCW Tag Team Champions, Cheap Thrills, Jimmy Flame, and Matt Sexcells. Doug, any last words before we go ahead and let the fans go?
I mean, you got to get on this. You got to get on the train. UCW is changing the way wrestling is in the Central Virginia region, and just warning everybody that Central Virginia is only the first stop on this ride that is UCW. So hop on the board, get on the train, come with us as we climb the mountain to change what wrestling is in Central Virginia. And it starts at the Orange County Fair.
That's right.
You got to be there.
You can join the movement. Go to OrangeCountyFairVA.com for your opportunity to get your tickets, and UCWForever.com for all your UCW news and needs. We got some limited edition posters signed by both Avery Rose and Casey Carlisle available for sale, only $10. We've also got limited edition posters for Noise Pollution versus Cheap Thrills. That's right, Rock Richards and Mad Max Morrison signing the poster itself, as well as Jimmy Flame and Matt Sells. Go to the website. That's shop.UCW at UCWForever.com for your opportunity to own pieces of history. And for Doug Roberts, for myself, Stan Lariat, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to join the movement. Head to the website at ucwforever.com and at UCWForever on Twitter. We'll see you next time, folks, and have another great evening.